It's time for your sports fix.
Strap yourselves in, folks.
From two guys who have covered the teams you're passionate about for years.
We are professionals.
This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5 The KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, happy Friday, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Jake Scott, Ben Anderson, thank you for making us a part of your day. How's it going over there, Ben?
Doing well. How are you?
Living the dream.
Yeah?
Yes?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
You got a big game this weekend. The Olympics are opening today. You're going on a cruise. Life is good.
Is it?
I think so. A lot of people would trade a lot to have those opportunities.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's pretty good. You seem less sure of it.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I've got a ton of anxiety about traveling in general.
Yeah.
Like getting ready to travel gives me a ton of anxiety. My wife, I was telling you and Maddie, my wife is like an obsessive packer.
Uh-huh.
And that gives me a super amount of anxiety.
Sure.
Like she has this monster checklist that raises my blood pressure just seeing it.
Yeah.
And then like it's funny, like her insistence on the kids helping, which is a good thing. But at some point, like I'm just doing it.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's always a fine line.
I mean, when we were packing, I guess it was 2 nights ago, I mean, there was tears and emotion and all about, no, you just need to pick out an outfit. Just pick out an outfit. Anyway, and now I've got my arm hurt. I'm never been on a cruise before. I'm a little concerned because I get vertigo.
Okay.
So, which is not necessarily a problem during the trip. It's more a problem after the trip.
Okay.
So, I don't know. I've got a bad attitude about it, to be honest.
Oh, okay. Well, Disney will be happy to welcome you.
And I really don't care for the Patriots or the Seahawks.
Okay. But you'll watch the game.
Maybe.
Okay. Don't watch the game.
Are there any teams that you do care for?
No. Jake's a hater.
In the NFL?
Yeah.
It's more I hate teams more than others.
Right.
Mainly. I used to live in North Carolina. I kind of like the Panthers.
You'll take the Panthers if they could do well?
I grew up, because I randomly had a Steelers jersey, I grew up cheering for the Steelers. Okay. But I wasn't really a Ben Roethlisberger guy, so I kind of cooled on that. In your awful division, Christian, I used to kind of like the Chargers. But then, I don't know, the L.A. Chargers, that feels pretty weird. I'm fairly indifferent on the Seahawks, I guess.
Okay.
So I'm pulling for the Seahawks, but who wants to see Alex Geary happy? So I should be cheering against the Seahawks.
Okay.
But I can't cheer for the Patriots. I mean, that's impossible. I kind of like the Bills.
Okay.
Like if I'm thinking about that division.
I tried to like the Bills, and then they just do nothing but disappoint you. So as casual as I get to be about my NFL fandom, I sold all that stock a couple years ago.
Well, they've got a terrible,
smart decision.
Terrible general manager.
Bad GM, bad owner. Yeah, it's all bad.
I've never been a Packers guy per se, but I'm definitely cheering for Jordan Love.
Mm-hmm. I like the idea of the Packers.
The community-owned team or whatever in a
small town.
In a town that isn't really a pro sports town.
Frigid outdoor environment, and they stick through it. Yeah, that's cool.
Although that is cheating a little bit because they're really not that far from Milwaukee.
Yeah.
It'd be like if, I don't know, Spanish Fork had an NFL team.
Yeah.
It's really not that far from, like if Layton had an NFL team. Yeah.
Just down the road.
Right. It's
not that far.
It's not that far away. So it's not like every person in town goes to the game because the population is only whatever it is. So, yeah, to answer your question, Christian, I cheer for some teams. Just not the Broncos.
I get it.
Or the Patriots. I tried to get on board being a Raiders fan, honestly, when they moved to Vegas. Because I do. I love Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
It's the closest opportunity to go to the NFL from Salt Lake. I love it how close people think Denver and Salt Lake are, and it's like, no, not really.
By plane, yeah.
by
driving.
Plane.
It's the most out-of-the-way city in America.
Yeah, it's not really convenient.
It is really hard to drive to Denver.
Yeah.
It's a tough drive.
Yeah.
Depending on which way you go, either through eastern Utah or up through Laramie.
pretty boring.
Well, the
Drive's
Laramie,
always pretty boring.
the Eastern Utah one isn't. The Laramie one certainly is. Like when you go through, what's that, like Durango and all that? That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I guess I've never gone that way. But yeah, Laramie. That is a tough drive. That is a boring drive.
Yeah, hard pass. So, I don't know. I don't root for any team from New York in any sport.
Okay.
Refuse to. Those people get enough attention.
Bing bong.
All right. Well, anyway, going through the NFL teams that I hate less than others.
I kind of like both of these teams. This is a win-win for me. I think Drake Maye is a cool story. I really like the Seahawks in general, so I'm up for all of it.
The only part of the Drake Maye story that I actually like is that Bill Belichick won't let North Carolina use him in any promotional materials, which is really funny.
Yeah, this is a cool Patriots team if you hate Bill Belichick and Tom Brady.
Which I don't like either one of those
Taking
guys.
it to those two guys for saying both of those two were fighting over who was actually responsible for the championships in New England. And they've got a very good chance to repeat this weekend without either of them or get a title without either of them and move somebody else into that conversation. I like Vrabel a lot, or as they called him on, was it the ESPN Awards? What was it last night? NFL Awards? Mike Vrabel? No, but I like Vrabel quite a bit. I think that's a very cool coach. I love that Tennessee had no idea what to do with him, so they moved on from him, and now he's awesome. Again, the Drake Maye thing moving on from Tom Brady, though I'm certainly not a Tom Brady hater. I do like that storyline. And then, of course, sticking it to the Jets every chance you get is the funniest thing you can do. So if Darnold wins, I'll be thrilled.
I don't like Bob Kraft either, though. Who wants to see that guy succeed?
Whatever.
What do you mean, whatever?
Do I have a reason to hate Bob Kraft?
Sure you do.
Okay, I'll look it up.
He's the owner of the Patriots.
That's fine with me. Whatever.
Yeah, I don't. Who wants to see the Patriots win another one? Sticking it to the Jets. That's what I'm going to go with. Sam Darnold.
Okay.
Sticking it to the Jets. But can you imagine if so Alex Smith was the number one pick in the draft of the Niners. Imagine if the Niners made it to the Super Bowl in Alex's second year. But Witt was so bitter over Alex leaving school early.
Right.
That he refused to embrace it in any way, shape, or form.
We're not going to acknowledge that person.
Not going to highlight the fact that he went to Utah.
Yeah.
Not going to tweet out, hey, congratulations out. Not going to do any of that. Now that is petty bitterness.
It's pathetic. It's not just petty, it's pathetic.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
You used the word pathetic. I used the word amazing.
Yeah. Amazingly pathetic. But that's what Bill Belichick is.
Or it's what his girlfriend is, maybe. I don't know. Is it Bill? Or I don't think he's like a skin suit for her at this point,
I
right?
think they've unlocked that for one another. They've brought out the worst in each other, which is quite a pairing.
Yeah, I don't think he makes any. The minute he showed up at that the adult cheer competition, it confirmed that this man has no will of his own.
Oh, it was before that. It was the mermaid picture.
Or maybe it was the mermaid picture.
The mermaid picture wasn't great.
It's like this man he is not making any sort of decision. He's not even deciding between coffee and Senka in the morning.
You'll be drinking this.
She makes that decision for him.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a place to be. She's freezing out Drake Maye, in fact.
So who are you rooting more against, Bill Belichick or the Jets? It's kind of a win-win. Isn't that how everyone feels about this game?
Now, why I should cheer for Seattle?
Well, if you're rooting against Bill Belichick, then you're rooting for the Patriots because Drake Maye is embarrassing him.
Oh, okay.
It's the greatest player suddenly in North Carolina history. And Bill Belichick, who's now the head coach of North Carolina, can't bring him back for recruiting visits. Can't hit him up and say, look what we did.
Well,
look at how fun this is.
He's definitely not the best football player in North Carolina history, and not even close.
Okay, well, you do have he'd be the first starting quarterback to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but Lawrence Taylor went to North Carolina, so Drake Maye is not and will not ever be better than Lawrence Taylor.
The only former player you would welcome back onto campus.
Oh, Lawrence Taylor was there for Belichick's first game. You don't remember that? He and Michael Jordan were in the box
Clearly,
together.
what a success. What an enormous success that was. What a great sign that had to be.
Embrace Drake Maye, but don't embrace Lawrence Taylor. That's your advice?
If you're trying to recruit now, yeah.
Oh, Lawrence Taylor's a legend.
Yeah, he's had some exciting times.
He's had some controversy in his personal life. Still good at football.
Correct. But Drake Maye has none and could be holding the Lombardi Trophy.
But not the best player to go to North Carolina, which
That's
was
fair.
indeed my point.
That's fair.
Lawrence Taylor may be the best football player of all time.
Yeah, top 5 player of all time. You're right.
Jerry Rice is probably the best football player of all time. But yeah, Lawrence
maybe
Taylor.
this is where Drake. No, I mean Tom Brady is, but Drake Maye is going to start laying out this conversation. Maybe Drake Maye can now start to dethrone Tom.
I think you could make an argument Jerry over Tom.
I wouldn't.
I mean, Jerry has plenty of Super Bowls and has set all these records that will never, ever be broken.
Just like Tom.
Has he set records that'll never, ever be broken? I mean, total
7 Super Bowls?
Yeah, outside of that.
Outside of the only stat that matters? Yeah, no, probably not.
It's not the only stat that matters.
Super Bowl winning? Winning's not the only stat that matters. You're right.
Well, in other sports, we consider other things besides championships. Why is football so different?
Where?
I don't know. Karl Malone's considered a top 50 player of all time. He never won
Is he
NBA
considered the best player of all time? No, why not?
Well, because he wasn't the best player.
It's the only thing that matters.
He wasn't the best player.
The only reason we talk Jordan is because he has 6 titles.
Well, why isn't Bill Russell considered better than Jordan?
He's considered a top 5 player of all time, and yeah, there's some era stuff in there. Same reason we don't consider Lou Gehrig the greatest baseball player of all time. He's got 9 World Series championships.
But we do consider Babe Ruth, who played before and with Lou Gehrig.
But he also did more things.
Did he win more championships?
I don't know.
Exactly. But in football, we're just so focused on Super Bowls. I honestly don't understand that. It's part of the conversation in other sports, but it's the end-all be-all in Super Bowls. I mean, we actually considered Joe Montana for a while to be the best quarterback of all time, and he certainly was not.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like Jerry Rice has plenty of Super Bowls and all these crazy records and all these reception things that'll absolutely never be broken. Tom Brady, how many times did he lead the league in passing?
Couple?
Right. Not the all-time leader in yards or touchdowns or any of that stuff.
Is he not?
I think he is.
In yards?
Yeah.
He's the all-time leader in yards, touchdowns, first downs,
How long will
completions.
that last?
Probably forever. He played from the age of 23 to 45.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say
Probably never going to be broken.
But the NFL has changed so much. I mean, go look at Terry Bradshaw's passing records. They're probably no better than, I don't know, give me an average, Sam Darnold.
Well, yeah, no, Terry was a very mediocre player.
But Joe Montana, the same thing. Go look at his numbers. They're much closer to Sam Darnold than they are. And plus, now you throw in an extra game.
Sure.
But I don't know. Interesting place to go, the GOAT in football. I'm not even saying Tom Brady's not. I just think you can make an argument for Jerry Rice.
Sure, and people will. Or Lawrence Taylor, like you mentioned. And the hard thing is there are 3 totally different responsibilities on the field, which is why football is more unique than basketball.
That's why it's stupid to even say a GOAT in football.
Yeah.
Because a left tackle and a quarterback, it's such a different skill.
Apples to oranges. Yeah, totally different game.
Right. Maybe Jonathan Ogden should be the GOAT of all time.
Well, how do we view Sam Darnold if he wins this weekend? You think he just becomes the worst player ever to win a Super Bowl as a quarterback? He hasn't played that way.
No, because Nick Foles and Brad Johnson and Trent Dilfer exist. He's closer to them than he is
Mahomes.
Yeah. But I think part of it's unfair for Darnold. Because, again, the Jets stink. Everybody makes a determination on somebody based on his time with the Jets. And then all of a sudden, he's now put together 2 not good but great seasons, won a ton of games, is going to the Super Bowl. But yet people like me just go, oh, he's closer to Dilfer than he is Mahomes because of the stink of the Jets.
Yeah, and the narrative, regardless of what he does, he could go win the Super Bowl MVP. He probably would be the favorite to win it, though there's obviously other names that could jump up. But 5 years from now, 10 years from now, when we talk about the Seahawks, if they win this Super Bowl, it will be, well, yeah, look at that defense, and they had Jackson Smith-Njigba. Like, yeah, they had the best receiver in football, and they had an elite defense.
Well, it kind of depends on what Darnold does from here. But, yeah, I get your point.
But do people don't really even remember what he did in the AFC Championship game, or the NFC Championship game, excuse me. He was awesome. I mean, he was the best player on the field. He had one of the best games of his career. And they're still going to chalk it up to, yeah, well, look at that defense. Yeah, look at what the Njigba can do. What do you have? 8 catches for almost 200 yards, something crazy? It's just like, yeah, that will be the narrative that surrounds him, regardless.
It is funny. I mean, Steve Young didn't even play for the first part of his career, and nobody assumed he sucked. Why does everybody assume Sam Darnold sucks?
Yeah.
You know what's kind of weird is we never assumed Matt Stafford sucked, and he didn't win a dang thing for the Lions for over a decade.
His numbers were prolific. Slow to start, but very prolific, very early.
You just told me it was all about winning.
Well, no, I think you're totally right. I mean, I don't think I'd formed a strong opinion on Stafford, other than the narrative was always, man, he's on the worst team. And that was kind of always the narrative around him. He put up huge numbers, and Jared Goff had the opposite example, which was, man, he's terrible, but he's on a team that wins a lot if only they could get a quarterback, and he's always had a little bit of a hard time shaking that as well. So Stafford did escape it, but Stafford was really good really early. Darnold was not.
It's just funny, the narrative and how people just can't get over it.
Yeah, it's really hard to change your reputation once you establish it.
You can't change it, and that's why if I'm a quarterback, man, going to the right team means so much more than where I'm picked. Going to the right opportunity, like Jordan Love's career, and we'll see where Jordan goes. You know, he's got improvements to be made or whatever, and they have high expectations in Green Bay. But if he went to the Jets and started right away, his career might be over.
Yeah, no question about it.
Like right now, he could be...
Yeah, if he went to Carolina, started the first 2 years.
Managing a target somewhere or something. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but like out of football is my point.
Yeah, totally different life.
So that's a wild thing to think about, because once some idiot on some radio bozo decides you suck, you could apparently never shake that for the rest of your career. I mean, Kirk Cousins did nothing but play well at Washington, play well in Minnesota, have a whatever year career before he went to Atlanta, and every radio bozo out there just assumed he sucked.
Yeah.
Put up crazy numbers in Minnesota, and everybody just assumed he sucked. Heaven forbid if you get a label early, because you're never going to shake it.
The Raiders had the 19th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft. If they take Jordan Love over Damon Arnett, who played a career of 15 games, as a first-round pick, as the 19th overall pick, for 3 different teams, he played a total of 15 games. If they take Jordan Love, instead of letting him slip to number 26 and the Packers, Jordan Love's career probably looks a lot different.
He's out of the game.
He's out of the game.
Because he wasn't good day one on a bad team, and everybody just assumes he sucks.
Yeah.
Crazy. People who come into the league and they assume that they're good get a zillion bites at the apple, which is kind of funny. You know, Peyton Manning historically did not have a very good rookie year. I think he set the NFL interceptions record for a rookie.
Yeah.
Yeah, still stands.
Yeah, like 26.
But everybody just assumed he was good. And it turned out that he was. But the point is, I mean, nobody was barking and moving off Peyton Manning. It's funny that, like, some players, even though they're picked high, get that and some don't. I mean, Zach Wilson went 2. He never got any of that.
So as funny as it is that, or as strange as what we're talking about, that once you establish a reputation, it's basically impossible to shake, or it's nearly impossible to shake. Sam Darnold has a chance to win one of the craziest Super Bowls we've ever seen.
And then everybody's going to assume he still sucks.
And everybody's still going to assume he stinks. But it will be one of the great wins of all time, because he had to fully rebuild his career out of the ashes, because he was a backup journeyman everywhere and has turned into one of the best players.
And you'd think after all that, people would go, oh, he must be pretty good.
Yeah. Nope.
Sure not. I bet you part of Trent Dilfer wishes he never would have won the Super Bowl.
So he didn't have to wear that mantle. Didn't have to wear that for the rest of his life.
It's not brought up, whoa, Trent Dilfer is Super Bowl champion. It's, wow, if Trent Dilfer can do it, anybody can.
Trent Dilfer played.
If you can win it with a clown like Trent Dilfer wasn't a bad quarterback.
No,
what's the first thing you think of?
Sure.
When you think of Trent Dilfer?
Sure.
Clown that accidentally won the Super Bowl.
He played in 6 total playoff games. He made the playoffs twice in his career. Made 1 Pro Bowl when he was with Tampa, and then, won the Super Bowl in 2000.
Well, Tampa was a joke when he was with
absolutely.
Tampa.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It is funny. Maybe people don't care, but, you know, heaven forbid you get a reputation. A bad reputation. I guess good on you if you get a good reputation that you didn't earn. You can just ride that wave. But, man, Sam Darnold's fighting uphill for the rest of his life.
Does he replace Rusty as the best quarterback the Seahawks have had since 2000?
Well, are you talking about just purely winning? Again, I don't know what your standards are.
Does he become more of a favorite? Because I'm thinking the reason you do want to be Trent Dilfer is you never have to buy a drink in Baltimore again for the rest of your life, right? Like you are a hero there forever. They will always pat you on the back and welcome you, and you're a part of history of that town, and that's a cool thing to do. So if Trent Dilfer wasn't even on the Baltimore Ravens after he won the Super Bowl, he went to Seattle after that the next year. Or maybe it was the next year. He played 1 year in Baltimore, sneaked in and won a title and split. So Darnold, if he wins, you become a legend forever in Seattle. Rusty's got to have some level of legend in Seattle, though, again, his ending and being so overpriced that it cost them the entire Legion of Boom that they could not wait to get rid of him probably hurt his reputation some, not to mention he's on the wrong end of the worst throw in Super Bowl history.
Well, there's an example of a guy who sucked that everybody assumed was good.
Sure, and rode that reputation
forever.
I mean, he's still making $40 million from the Broncos.
Yeah, guy's made a couple $100 million in his career because everybody assumed he was good. Because he got dropped into an all-star team and had success early. Back to winning not being a great indicator necessarily of how good somebody is.
Sure.
Rusty won right out of the gate with the best running back in the league and one of the best defenses of all time.
Yep.
But somehow Let Rusty Cook became a thing and ultimately was the downfall of the Seahawks. But everybody was like, yeah, Rusty's good. What are you talking about?
Winning a Super Bowl probably extended Trent Dilfer's career for 5 years. That is beneficial. Sam Darnold will get 5 more. But Sam Darnold, if he wins a Super Bowl, is going to make another $100 million in his career.
Except for that wasn't true for Nick Foles, so why would it be true for Sam Darnold?
We'll see.
He
curious.
got paid a lot by the Jags, and then he fell off.
Yeah, how many seasons did he spend with the Jags?
He got paid though.
Yeah,
that's what. Good for him. I don't care.
Yeah.
Ben just told me it's going to extend your career for 5 years if you win the Super Bowl. I just pointed out a case in recent history where that was entirely untrue.
I think he started for the Jags and then got hurt and then started for the Bears and then that was it.
Yeah.
Dominated with the Eagles. In fact, beat your Patriots if memory serves.
Yeah.
Earned an incredible nickname. Did not extend his career for 5 years. May have shortened it.
Wins the Super Bowl in 2017.
Because everybody
retires in 2022. He played 5 more years after that.
Because the Jags assumed he was good. He was not. But he had a Super Bowl, which is all that matters.
Yeah.
All right. Stay tuned. Top 3 stories of the day at KSLSports.com. Coming up next, Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
It's time to break down the biggest stories of the day. This is the top 3 stories of the day on KSLSports.com. On 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Time for the top 3 stories of the day at KSLSports.com. It's brought to you by J. Brooks Jewelers. Cherish your love with J. Brooks Jewelers. Explore their expertly crafted engagement rings made from the finest materials. J. Brooks Jewelers. All right, Christian, where do you want to start today?
Number 1, the Jazz lose to Atlanta yesterday. There was some controversy on the Snap Talk about Lauri Markkanen not being in for the final shot.
Well, he wasn't in for the final 16 minutes of the game. I don't get angry watching basketball games, hardly ever. It just doesn't bother me. It's our job. Last night was such a painful game to watch. It's one of the more painful games of the last 3 years for me, watching these basketball teams. First of all, I cannot believe how horrendous the Eastern Conference is. The Jazz literally set out to lose that game. They went to lose that game. They are trying to lose games. They're tanking. We know they're tanking. They didn't play Lowry for the last 16 minutes of a close game. They started They started playing Oscar Tshiebwe. Like, that's the sign. They are waving the white flag. Take the ball. Win the game. We are giving you this game. And Atlanta just could not get out of its own way. And yeah, they have Jalen Johnson, and he has a 15-point, 15-rebound, 15-assist triple-double, and he's an all-star, yada, yada, yada. And I get they just made a flurry of trades as well at the deadline, and so that's going to be part of it. But the Jazz are trying to lose this game and can't get out of their own way to lose it. And Atlanta desperately needs this game to make the playoffs and can't get in front of themselves to win. And then on top of it, you're just reminded of how silly tanking is, because the Jazz have a apparently reasonable rotation player in Jock Landale who they give away, right? He's a part of this trade with Chicago and with Cleveland and with Atlanta, technically 2 separate transactions, but the Jazz have to get rid of Jock Landale to take Lonzo Ball back, to take the draft picks. But they don't really want Jock Landale because he's going to help you win games. All right, I get that's what the last 3 years have been about. And then Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who played for the Jazz for a little bit, and they didn't really understand how to use him. Quinn Snyder blew it, and then the Jazz weren't interested in winning when he was here with Will Hardy. So they threw him into the Mike Conley trade, and it was a sign of the tanking beginning. And it was just a reminder of how annoying every storyline has been for the Jazz for 3 straight years when it comes to tanking. And that now, even as they finally move out of this chapter and they go and get Jaren Jackson Jr. and they're going to start trying to win games next year, you're just reminded of just like how obnoxious all of this is for the last 3 seasons, 4 seasons by the end of this year, and almost 3 years to the date when they started making these trades, of just like how ridiculous all of this is. And that it's finally over has made it feel even more insufferable to me.
It's funny, you're reminded about that. I feel like we've been, or at least I have been, squawking about this every day for 3 years. I don't care about Jock Landale. He's not good.
Yeah, okay, he's just a player. He's just a backup center.
Doesn't matter. I find it funny people were upset Lowry didn't play. What are you talking about? I mean, Lowry's missed entire games for no reason for 3 years now.
Yeah.
He's missed the entire months for no reason. For 3 years now, so you're trying to dump a random game in Atlanta, and he doesn't play in the fourth quarter. We've talked about this. This has happened a bunch where the other team is so crappy, and yes, the Hawks are terrible. And it's amazing that Quinn Snyder still has a job because they're dreadful.
And they're going to get bailed out because they're going to get a high pick from New Orleans. But yes, not because of anything they're doing on the floor.
But Will Hardy's got to be over there looking at Quinn Snyder. I can't call him Quinn. Saying, "What are you doing? Win the dang game. What are you doing? Win the basketball.
Please take this."
And by the way, I'm not going to stand here for your Oscar Sheboy slander because he is better than Slow-Mo.
That's fine.
They haven't been playing him instead of Slow-Mo because Slow-Mo was helping you lose. I think Sheboy, I like Sheboy. He plays with a ton of energy.
Absolutely not an NBA player.
A bunch of size. I don't know. He's still better than Slow-Mo.
I don't think that's true, but that's fine.
At the center position, he certainly is still better.
I don't think that's true either, but that's fine.
Slow-mo. But I don't know. The Jazz had to work hard to dump a game in Atlanta. They had to work hard to win 17 games last year.
Right. And
I mean, that's people I know wasn't Locke doing backflips on his podcast or whatever because the
tank's
the
over.
It's not.
Not yet.
It's not.
This is about to be, and I've said this.
It's going to get worse before it gets better. And I know people are excited about next year, and that's great. And I'm sure the people that are selling Jazz season tickets over across the street are having a great week.
Yeah.
And I get why people are enthused about it or whatever, but that's still 6 months away. More? 7 months? 6 months?
September, yeah.
September?
October, technically.
And they still have to, if they're going to hit their mark of winning 20, whatever you put.
I think you can win 6 more games.
Like
22 wins.
Yeah, if you love Oscar Sheboy, you're going to see him more. You're not going to see Lowry Markkanen more.
No.
I'm surprised he even dressed for the game, honestly.
I don't know if you're going to see him in Salt Lake anymore. You don't have to play. Well, here's the thing. So here's the player participation rule that you do have to abide by if you're the Jazz to avoid fines. Your star players, which now are Jaren Jackson Jr. and Lowry Markkanen, can't both sit the same game and can't sit road games. So you can rest Lowry Markkanen at home the rest of the season if you want to. You don't have to play him at all because your home crowd gets a chance to see him otherwise. So you don't have to play him at all, and you won't face any fines from the NBA. But I do think you have to play either Lowry or Jaren Jackson Jr. at home in these games the rest of the season, I believe. And you can't rest them on the road just to rest them. So how do you negotiate that is going to be the shenanigans that we see from the Jazz the rest of the season.
And that's easy.
Yeah, you can find a way. Everyone's hurt.
This rule is so dumb, and it is so a cat in the wall that doesn't fix anything.
Right.
Because all you have to do is fake an injury. That's it.
Yep.
Cat in the wall, eh?
Or dress him and don't play him.
The same reason Atlanta's not going to play Trae Young. The same reason that Washington's not going to play Trae Young. Washington's not going to play Anthony Davis either. They'll find a couple of games to play them in, but not a lot. That's what the Jazz are going to do as well.
Jaren Jackson Jr. just came down with a sprained ankle.
Yeah.
just now.
Has had something nagging all season that he's going to address now.
Yeah, that rule is so silly. It doesn't make any sense to me. Again, Jason, the Dallas got fined for it just because Jason Kidd admitted it.
Yeah.
And I still don't know why they fined the Jazz for it. It's selective prosecution, in my opinion. I'd be a little bent about it if I were the Jazz, but, I mean, that rule is meaningless.
Yeah, it's meaningless. And the Jazz, again, they're going to win 6 games. They've got 30 left, I think, on the season, so they'll go 6-24 the rest of the way. I think that's going to be the goal. It's going to take some work to do it, but the other teams around them will also win some games and relieve some of that pressure.
What's next?
But Jazz are expected to have Jaren Jackson Jr., Vince Williams, and John Conchar tomorrow in Orlando.
Number 2, the trade deadline came and went. Any other big takeaways?
I don't know how many teams actually got better. I do think Indiana going and trading for Ivica Zubac is a good trade. He's a really good player. He's just a very good center. And the Clippers pulling the plug on their season despite the fact that they were 17-5 in their last 21 games is strange, though the conspiracy theory is that the NBA is about to come down on them for Kawhi Leonard and his tree planting fiasco.
I wonder if that has anything to do with it. I think it's just a clutch thing. I think they wanted James Harden extended, and so they swapped clutch guys, and it works for the Clippers. The Clippers thing is weird. The Indiana, Zubac just came down with a sprained ankle.
Yeah, he's not going to play either.
He's not going to play either. I mean, in the short term, basically nothing happened other than teams ducking tax bills, which is what the trade deadline is going to become all about.
That is really what it was about.
As we go forward, I saw people. What was the label everybody was throwing on it? The pre-free agency or something. Pre-agency.
Yeah.
I think there's some of that. I think it really proved how dumb NBA franchises are, if anything, because the James Harden deal is dumb for especially for Cleveland, which is who they were trying to get better. It's totally dumb. Anthony Davis, that trade is dumb.
Yep.
The Trae Young trade was dumb before that. And then all these other, tax ducking moves are all because they overpaid someone at some point and they have to, with some teams, I would guess, move off players that they don't really want to move off of because they're going to cost them 4 times what they're making in their tax bill, depending on which franchise they are.
100%.
So, I mean, it is kind of funny what the trade deadline has become.
Get back under the tax.
Let's recover from dumb decisions.
With that in mind, I do think the Jazz acquired the best player that moved at the trade deadline.
I would agree. Did you see that yesterday? The Warriors were trying to get him until they shut down conversation because they thought they had Giannis.
We talked about why were the Jazz eager to pull this trigger on Tuesday as opposed to waiting to make it official later. And there was some thought of when you have a good thing, you just say yes and you don't let them back out. Maybe that's what it was. They realized, hey, if Giannis doesn't move, there's going to be a suddenly, escalated market for Jaren Jackson Jr., and maybe somebody out of nowhere is going to be willing to throw in, better picks than what the Jazz put in. And Golden State would be the team. So maybe the Jazz just said, this is the deal, get it done. You pick your players, and we'll say yes. And so the Jazz moved Jaren Jackson Jr.
Yeah, bingo.
Yeah. Right, that's good work. If that's the guy you think you need, and you think he's going to help you get out of your rebuild, good move.
All right, what's next?
Number 3, the Winter Olympic Opening Ceremonies are today.
About an hour, 11:40 on NBC. You could be able to watch those. We'll obviously have all the coverage at KSLSports.com.
The time difference is going to make this unique, as often Olympic Games are, depending on what part of the world that they're in. We were joking about with Maddie about our coverage at KSLSports.com and how people are going to be on the early morning shifts.
Yeah.
By the way, we're going to have all the latest for you, KSLSports.com for sure. We've got people covering it literally 24 hours a day. But do you like it? Do you like, because I've always kind of liked randomly having sports that are during the day and not necessarily prime time, although I know they re-rack the major stuff for prime time, right, which makes total sense. But especially, this started for me when I was producing morning radio, and I used to love when the French Open was on.
Yeah.
It's like, I've got live good stuff right here in the morning.
Yeah, wake up and it's on.
Or at your lunch break or whatever. Maybe you're cruising on over to, I don't know, JCW's or something that's going to have TVs up. And you're like, oh, yeah, sweet. I get to watch the Olympics on my lunch break. I love that stuff.
I'm with you. Shout out to our digital producers at KSLSports.com who are working shifts beginning at 2 a.m. because that's when a lot of the primetime stuff is happening in Italy. But yeah, I loved it when they were in France and there were things going on all day long. And NBC benefits by being able to say, yeah, let's just schedule this out. So all weekend, And really, all day, there's something to watch. So, yes, I'm excited for that aspect.
And then mash up the best parts and put it in primetime.
Yep. Yeah, re-rack whatever you have to.
Give Bob some drops and go for it.
Eye drops?
Yeah.
There you go.
Clear that up.
Yeah.
Or I guess
if
Mike,
you can.
Do you think Mike Tirico just wears goggles around for like the month before the Olympic Games?
So he doesn't get sabotaged?
I think he has to do the Super Bowl this weekend, but
Busy.
But
What a
yeah,
week. What a month.
I'd be wearing goggles the whole time.
Yeah.
You're like I can't risk a pink eye outbreak. That nearly ruined Bob's career.
We're assuming that we're going to see Clayton Keller walking with the Olympic team, right?
Why wouldn't he?
Why wouldn't
Yeah,
he?
why wouldn't he? I'm excited to see that. I mean, they played 48 hours ago. To turn around and then have to be in Italy is tough, but that'll be very cool.
Do you
What a
think
moment
he'll
for him.
get any television time?
They'll show the hockey team. Hockey team's supposed to be good this year, and the fact that the NHL players are playing is a huge deal.
I know, but the American team always has like hundreds of people on it. You can't pick anybody out.
Sure.
They focus on the famous people, and then everybody else gets drowned out.
LeBron being on the front of the boat.
Whereas like the Jamaican Winter Olympic team, there's like 3 guys.
Yeah, Lindsey Vonn will be at the front of everything this year.
Don't make Lindsay walk.
Yeah, well, put her on a scooter or whatever. Or,
She was skiing this morning.
yeah,
Did
she was
you
skiing
see?
this morning. She
whatever.
finished her practice run, but she did survive. So that's
Imagine
good.
the ego. Move over, Lindsay. Let somebody else do it.
Be some snowboarders, etc. But
Do we
Yep.
know what they're wearing?
Is Roots still a thing? That was the O2.
yeah, and then they did all
Olympics.
denim a couple of times. Classic American. I don't know. We'll see.
Isn't that technically Canadian?
The tuxedo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although
Imagine wearing those pants. Oh my goodness.
All right, stay tuned. We'll have more Jake and Ben coming up next. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Whether it's the Jazz, Utes, Cougars, or Aggies, these guys have got you covered.
Time to eat, fellas.
You're locked on to Jake Scott and Ben Anderson
1, 2, 3, move it.
on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Hey, we're teaming up with Beehive Meals, honoring people that impact youth sports in our communities. Nominate the youth sports volunteer you know for the Beehive Meals Hero of the Week at kslsports.com/contest. Listen every Thursday to JJ and Alex for the winner. It's the Beehive Meals Hero of the Week. Also want to remind you about Win Ticket Wednesday, your chance to win big every week on the KSL Sports Zone. This week, or next week, I should say, you can win tickets to go see Brian Regan at Delta Center on Valentine's Day, Saturday, February 14th. Get your tickets at SeatGeek.com. That's SeatGeek.com. Steve Bartle is going to join us coming up at the top of the 11 o'clock hour, so we'll talk to Steve about what's going on up on the hill. Has the... I was trying to read up on this morning. Has the private equity thing gone through? It's supposed to be late January, early
Yeah,
February.
I've not seen. Let's ask Steve about that.
Are you surprised we have not seen more universities follow suit? I guess we did see the Big 12 Conference kind of follow suit, right? But are you surprised we haven't seen, or is Utah the test case and everybody's waiting to see exactly how that goes?
It is a little bit weird timing to happen right at the end of football season, though I guess it doesn't necessarily have to align with football. But it always seemed like something would be done in the summer for teams. Kind of you get a little bit of a lull between football and basketball, and it's just Olympic sports that are playing at that moment. So, and honestly, you're just off. Kids are out of school, so you have a chance to dictate some of that stuff. But yeah, I think it's going to be a test case. And man, I just don't know what's going on up at Utah. It feels wayward right now to me, and maybe that's just because of all the changes on the football staff, and maybe they can get it all back under control, and everything will be fine as soon as they get back there. But just like no inroads with basketball, and again, it's Alex Jensen's first year. It's too early to expect that anything would have actually changed. But I don't know. I just don't have a great feeling about Utah athletics at the moment.
I wonder if they're trying to get the deal done to jam it in before the legislatures can say no.
It's possible.
Because there has been rumblings about that up there.
Yeah.
That people aren't exactly happy about it. I honestly don't know how they could do it without the legislatures go ahead. I guess the Board of Trustees all voted yes. I just wonder where that is. We haven't seen it officially close yet.
Yeah. No, it's a good. It's has a chance to be the biggest story at Utah for the next several years. If you actually do get a huge influx of cash that does whatever they think it's going to do, I mean, that could, I guess, change your program or programs. Are you going to become relevant in basketball all of a sudden? Or are you going to be more competitive in football? Are you fighting to not be irrelevant. I'm guess I'm still curious about what the goal is here. Is this money keeping the lights on, or is this money actually, a good investment that they're going to get money back on at some point when they, give this opportunity or this investment company, when they pay them back? More questions than answers, certainly.
Well, it depends. I wonder what Morgan's game plan is going to be as a program, because whatever this money's for, they're not going to be one of the rich programs in the country.
Period. Yeah.
So what are you doing to find overlooked players? And then what are you doing to coach them up and keep them? Because that's going to be the recipe for Utah's football success, which the good news is that's been the recipe for their success pretty much since they became successful.
It is.
So, what's his plan to do that, I think is extremely important, and certainly willing to give him a chance to show what he's doing. With basketball, and we could ask Steve about this, I don't know if I trust the plan.
Yeah, I'm totally with you.
To go, like, this whole philosophy is of we're going to make our college basketball program like the pros. I don't know about that. For example, Kevin Young's been successful at BYU. I'm not trying to be overly critical of him, but his team has some bad habits.
Yeah, really bad.
And in the pros, you get over those bad habits, because if you don't, then unless you're the creme de la creme, you're not going to be in the league anymore, right? College is so different because the pool is so much bigger. I just don't think you can run. And I shouldn't say kids, but the players are so much less mature. Mm-hmm. Emotionally, physically, all across the board. I don't think you can bring this pro philosophy to college and have it work. In football, Kirk Cignetti is not bringing a pro philosophy to Indiana. Right?
Right.
In college basketball, the successful coaches, Kelvin Sampson, even in this new world, is not bringing a pro philosophy to Houston.
Right.
BYU's next opponent. In fact, far from it.
The opposite, almost. Yeah. And it's pushed back against the idea of the pro philosophy.
Right.
Yeah.
Bill Self has been, quote unquote, running a pro program for 30 years or whatever, but he doesn't coach like a pro coach.
No, he doesn't.
That's not his thing. I don't, especially at Utah, where you're not going to have the dough BYU's going to throw around. I don't buy into this pro philosophy in college. I just don't.
And maybe this is true everywhere. I don't think it is, but maybe it's true for most places. It just feels like it's football, a little bit of gymnastics, and nothing else right now at Utah. It is strange to look at, even yesterday, like the Big 12 baseball predictions come out, the power rankings. Utah's just dead last. And it just feels like, I think they finished dead last in softball last year. 2 years ago, they were pretty good, but dead last in softball last year. Just feels like every time something rolls out, Utah's expected to have no impact in the league at all in the Big 12 outside of football. Basketball, dead last. Baseball, dead last. Softball, dead last. Gymnastics, exceptional. Football, very good. And maybe that's just the goal. Maybe you just only care about the two programs where you feel like you have an opportunity to be successful. And of course, skiing, because what else are you going to do here?
Well, the women's basketball team's not bad.
They're okay. And even then, they have dropped off compared to where they were a year and a half ago.
Yeah, they gotta figure it out. But Utah's never been a resources school, and I don't see that changing.
Agreed.
And I don't see that changing with this weird
that's the big question.
Investment. It's not.
Does this actually give you resources to change anything,
No.
or are you just the exact same school?
I don't think that is the big question. I don't. It doesn't. I don't think they're going to use the money on players. But money is fungible, right? So if you use this on this, you can use this on this. But I don't think, Utah State's trying to start the rev share to be a rev share school. They're never going to spend the 20.
Yeah, I agree.
They can't afford to spend the 20. They're not going to spend the 20.
They don't have an extra 20 laying around.
I don't think Utah has an extra 20 laying around. I think
BYU?
Utah.
Utah, okay. Yeah, Utah's not going to spend the 20. No, totally not.
I don't think BYU honestly has the 20 lying around, but BYU doesn't need the 20.
Right.
Right?
They've got other money.
Because the athletic department has to run in the black. That's been a thing at BYU forever. So maybe some of the 20 is coming, but if it's coming out of another pot, who cares?
Right.
I mean, if you have to have $40 million to have a top 25 football program, I don't think 20 of that is coming from the school at BYU.
Probably not.
But at Utah, they were counting on that 20 being the cap for everybody.
Yeah.
And that's not the case. So I don't know how much of the 20 they're going to spend. They're probably going to try and spend all of it And that's maybe what this cash infusion has to do, but it's not going to upend the disadvantages that Utah has amongst its peers.
I don't think so at all. I'm totally with you.
All right, stay tuned. We'll run this stuff past Bartle coming up next. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.